right, folks. So for today's secret sauce, I'm going to be talking about your unique value proposition. And I know you probably heard the term before, and you might think it's a bunch of marketing buzz. What does that mean, unique value proposition? The truth is that behind those words hides an essential truth about what we do and why people choose us to do it for them. There must be a reason why a customer chooses to spend their time, money, and trust with us. Sure, we can chalk it up to price. We can start discounting, race to the bottom, but we all know where that ends up. In a world where commoditized price competitions leaves us constantly trying to cut our own throats and each other's throats to get down to that low price. For a group of highly creative people like decorators, it's amazing how much we can find ourselves unable to think beyond that model. But the truth is, people buy emotionally. They perceive value in ways we might not initially understand. And value is more than just a function of markup. And I want to talk about what value is for a second in order to get to this concept of this value proposition. I mean, we feel comfortable talking about value when it's measurable. When we add more input, more stitches, more labor, more prints, locations, or a higher dollar blank, we feel comfortable. When we do more, when our product costs more, when there is more than one area of decoration, we understand that value. Even when there's a lower price, we feel like we can show that value. It's easy for us to sell. The more uncomfortable kind of value is that customers can perceive a different value for any item, whether it's a sense of scarcity, limited runs, association with other valuable items or brands, desirable context, being sold in a place in context where it is more valuable. Think about the concert tee and how much we talk about, though we are printers and know what these things cost, we still pay for event merch. Or even just because somebody they love and trust or somebody they follow, an influencer, said something was more valuable, people may chalk that up and really believe the product's more valuable. So it's more than just cost and markup can explain. After all, a trading card is a printed slab of cardstock, inherently cheap, but the right one can be worth a fortune. Our work is similar, though we luckily have a number of ways we can improve our value for the right crowd. Our value proposition, it's all about what working with us can do to improve both that measurable utility, the stuff that we're comfortable with, and that less measurable enjoyment, the associations that our work can create for our customer. Our unique value proposition, what makes us as decorators uniquely capable to provide our backgrounds, our abilities, even sometimes our temperaments, combined with our company culture, the structures we have in place, our abilities, and our terms, the way we do business, to bring a solution that other shops might not, even if sometimes it really is just up to personality. Truthfully, every shop has something unique to offer, but we have to ask ourselves the tough questions. Number one, what problems can my work uniquely solve? So, can that be our capabilities technically? Yes. Can it also be our creative way of seeing things? That too. It is what we can bring to a problem. So, the other question, kind of the other side of that question is why not something else? Why not something else than what we can do? What about my work delights and surprises? So much about what makes people actually pull the trigger and purchase is that something they've seen brings them a measure of delight. Hey, it is about what we enjoy. And things that delight and surprise are things that are fun for us to share. So, what is it about my work, the way I do things, that might be delightful, surprising, bring that good experience, or that the customer has an item they can take and share either with some other viewer of their stuff when it's something promotional, or if they're selling the product, something that they can use to delight and surprise the actual end customer who's buying the product. And once again, the question behind that is, what can we do to make them smile? Evoking an emotional response is part of how we get that extra value. And then lastly, really, this is more about that technical capability and what we can do, our skills, our background, our knowledge. What can my shop, what can I bring to the process that nobody else can? And I know that sounds hard. People would be like, wow, nobody else? But the thing is, we all have a specialty. Yes, it's very likely that there's overlap all over the place. However, there are certain things that when we bring together who we are, what we know, where we come from, and what we are capable of doing, becomes not only a specialty, but something that is very unique to us, especially when we think of the larger stage of marketing where we go into like things like niche marketing that we talk about a lot. If we belong to or understand a niche, that is part of how we make this work. So take time to answer these questions. Really, if you can't answer these questions, you need to start looking for those places where your unique experiences, interests, knowledge base, and skills along with certainly your equipment and your capabilities, interact to offer a combination that could serve your clients or a new market you haven't yet identified in a unique way. When you find what makes you weird in a good way, lean into it. And that, folks, is my secret sauce.
Here we go.